Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as always, we'll be talking about our weekly Torah portion, Parshas Korach. And I love this Parsha. Korach is such an interesting personage from the Torah, and there are so many wrongs in this Parsha that on the opposite way, you can learn what is right. But before that, I want to bring an example of somebody that I know, friends of mine, the parents who decided that they don't want to send their children to different clubs, courses, not swimming, not tennis, not chess, not Judaism, nothing. The child has to have a free time on his or her hands. Why? Because they have to learn how to think. They have to be philosophers. Now, I probably know how you can guess how it's all ended up. And even Pharaoh, he knew that this is the wrong approach, not only to the child psychology, but to the social psychology in general. Because when Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron Cohen came to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," Pharaoh said, "They probably have too much time on their hands, and this is why those strange thoughts come into their mind. We have to raise their quota for the labor that they're doing. They should not have free time in order to think in the wrong way." Korach knew exactly the same. Because yes, Korach had his own ambitions, and he assembled the coalition of the people that were this way or another unhappy. But the most important, why the Korach rebellion actually was successful, a lot of people went after him, the leaders of the community went after him, because he chose a perfect timing. This is everything. The right timing for the political and propaganda campaign is everything. And then he's choosing it. He's choosing it immediately after the previous Torah portion. In the previous Torah portion, we read about the story of the spies. Before the story of the spies, the Jewish people were absolutely directed into the goal and busy with the affirmation and preparation to conquer the land of Israel. But then, you know the story of the spies, and we were sentenced to stay in the desert for 40 years. And because before that, it was just a few days of walk, and we were constantly occupied with the preparation to conquer the land of Israel. And now, 40 years of boredom, 40 years of doing nothing practical. And Korach said, this is the time to spill the propaganda. This is the time for the political campaign. When we are not occupied with the daily routine, with the things that we are obligated to, we're not directed to the goal, this is the time when all the protests and different ideas and new concepts starting, because we are bored. And when we are bored, some strange thing comes to our mind. And Korach knew this very well, and this is why he started his campaign immediately at the moment that the Jewish people understood 40 years. What are we gonna do those 40 years? The Kotzker, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Kotzker, great Hasidic leader from the 19th century in Poland, he says to his students, "I don't want you to constantly have a battle with your evil inclination. I want you to be busy so much that you will not have time for this battle." Basically what he's saying, no, Jew cannot be a philosopher and thinker. The Jew has to be busy from the morning to the evening. You have a specific, this is what Judaism is all about, the discipline, the timetable. You have a time for prayer, you have the time for study, you have the time for work, you have a time to, as a Rebbe Rashav, the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe said, you have to dedicate an hour of your time for the education of your children, even thinking about this, even more, learning with your children. You should not have free time, because when a Jewish person, when our mind has a free time, we got all those ideas that not only distract us, but destroy the civilization. From Korach to Spinoza to Karl Marx, there are plenty to choose. So ladies and gentlemen, all the problems start when we are bored. Keep yourself busy and don't let the evil inclination to bother you with the thoughts when you're boring. Thank you very much. Good luck. I see you next week.